from the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS2 News at 11 p.m.
Tonight, the road to the Supreme Court just got bumpier for Judge Brett Kavanaugh. His accuser is going public.
Bombshell allegations from a California woman have complicated the already bitter confirmation process for President Trump's Supreme Court pick.
CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen joins us now with reaction on Capitol Hill. Jeff.
Well, Suzanne, nearly 30 years after Americans watched Anita Hill go public with accusations of sexual harassment against a Supreme Court nominee, we are hearing from another professor about a pick on the high court. This time, her name is Christine Blasey Ford.
Tonight, Judge Brett Kavanaugh could be seen inside his suburban D.C. home as he faces sexual assault allegations during his Supreme Court confirmation process. The accusations come from Christine Blasey Ford, a research psychologist who teaches at Palo Alto University and Stanford. Jessica Levinson is a professor at Loyola Law School.
Judge Kavanaugh was sailing through the confirmation process, and I think now it's going to be a bumpier road.
Cameras were outside Ford's Northern California home after she spoke for the first time to the Washington Post. During an interview, she said Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her when they were at a high school party in suburban Maryland in the early 80s. She said Kavanaugh was stumbling drunk, corralled her into a bedroom, pinned her to a bed, and tried to grope her. Kavanaugh says, "I categorically deny this allegation. I did not do this back in high school or at any time."
Why on earth over the past 4 to 6 weeks hasn't it been discussed?
Before the Washington Post story was published, Republicans on the Judiciary Committee were critical of ranking member Dianne Feinstein, who was aware of the allegations but did not disclose it to the wider committee, instead sharing it with the FBI.
They've had this stuff for 3 months. If they were serious about it, they should have told us about it.
The California Democrat tweeted, "I support Mrs. Ford's decision to tell her story. It's hers to tell, and it must be taken seriously. I find her credible, and the attacks on her must stop." The atmosphere over Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation process is drawing comparisons to Anita Hill, who 27 years ago accused Clarence Thomas of sexual harassment before he was confirmed to the high court. This time around, it may end up being a numbers game because Republicans have a larger majority in the Senate.
I still think that ultimately he will be confirmed.
And tonight, Republican Senator Jeff Flake from Arizona says he's not comfortable voting for Kavanaugh until he learns more about the allegations. The GOP holds a slim 11-10 majority in the Judiciary Committee. All 10 Democrats on that committee oppose the nomination, and Flake's opposition could stall it. The committee vote on Kavanaugh is scheduled for Thursday. In the newsroom, Jeff Nguyen, CBS 2 News.
Thanks, Jeff. Tonight, Florence has been downgraded to a tropical depression, but she is still battering the Carolinas. So far, at least 17 people have died. More than 590,000 customers are still without power, and Florence is expected to unload a total of 10 trillion gallons of rain on North Carolina.
CBS 2's Lori Perez is live at the Satellite Center to show us how local first responders are helping rescue people in the flood zone. Lori?
LA City and County Fire deployed more than 30 members to the southeast to help out there. Today, county crews posted on their Facebook page showing some of the remarkable work they're doing. One glance at the LA County Fire Crew's video is jaw-dropping.
How many people are in the car?
An SUV appears on the verge of being submerged as Florence has turned roads into rivers. LA County's Swiftwater Rescue Team, patrolling by boat in Cumberland County, North Carolina, took this video of their careful but quick approach and deliberate instructions to the 47-year-old driver.
Just crawl out like you're 5. Head first. NASCAR.
Keeping a situation that could change quickly under control.
Victims in the boat, we're heading back.
And turning a life threatened into a life saved, SoCal style.
LA County Fire Department, sir. All the way from Los Angeles.
It's a scary scene echoing throughout the southeast as neighbors try in vain to get out by car, others making more progress in boats. Locals are like awestruck tourists as swollen rivers have changed the landscape.
This is the worst I've ever seen. The flooding, the trees, and I can't imagine what it would have been like if it hit as a 4.
Parts of North Carolina have gotten 30 inches of rain since Friday. State leaders have issued new evacuations, but some escape routes are impassable, and hundreds have had to be picked up by helicopter. More than a dozen people have died in the storm, including a 3-month-old boy after a pine tree fell on his North Carolina mobile home. Forecasters say if pounding rain continues, it could bring the worst flooding in North Carolina history.
This storm has never been more dangerous than it is right now.
Dangerous for his state and its neighbor. In South Carolina, the governor warned people to brace for what's headed in their direction.
Those rivers in North Carolina that have received heavy rainfall are coming our way.
That will complicate things for utility crews trying to reach downed power lines around the Carolinas. They say it could take weeks to restore power. More than 740,000 homes and businesses are in the dark.
It's awful. It's awful. It's going to be a long time.
The president has already declared a federal disaster in the Carolinas. Back to you.
Thank you, Lori. Now to CBS 2's Garth Kemp tracking what's left of Florence. Garth.
Yeah, well, it continues to move to the north-northeast. We've seen the center a little bit earlier, just starting to get itself up towards the North Carolina-Virginia border, but you can see heavy shower activity still rotating through Raleigh at this point. That means Duke University, that entire area, picking it up over towards that. Heavy rain there, 2-3 inches an hour in some of these red zones you're seeing as it continues to wrap around the center of the low pressure area. So these thunderstorms continue out through this area right across 95 over the 40 as well. They could still continue to see another 5 to 7 inches of rain by the time it's all said and done in those areas. It's going to make its trek through the north over the next 2 to 3 days max, and then it'll start to make its way up towards western Pennsylvania. An ex-tropical low system, it'll become a mid-state Atlantic storm that could produce 2, maybe 3 to 4 inches of rain in some of the heaviest spots, western Pennsylvania up the eastern seaboard. We'll have our forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Garth. A developing story, mystery solved. Some people in the IE were concerned about seeing this in the sky. It looked like 2 planes were flying too close together. One of them is a UPS plane, the other a Lear jet. But we've just confirmed it was all for a publicity video shoot for UPS.
Teens at a family gathering at Glen Oaks Park in Glendale were hurt tonight when tree branches fell down on them. CBS 2's Christy Fajardo is live at Glendale with details. Christy?
Yeah, Peter, the limb snapped at about 4:30 this afternoon when this park was full of people. This is the tree in question, and the limb was towards the top, and it fell all the way down here onto a group of teenagers that were standing right below it. Caution tape now surrounds a tree whose falling branches injured 3 teenagers. Witnesses say the sound of the buckling ricocheted through the park, even over the noise of a kid's birthday party.
The mothers of the children that were affected, they all heard and they all yelled their branch, and they didn't even have a chance to run up to them.
Jose Aleman, along with other family members, had come to Glen Oaks Park to celebrate the 5th birthday of a cousin. He says the youngest kids were hitting a piñata at one tree, while some teenage relatives and their friends hung out under another tree. That's when they heard the cracking.
Without warning, we just heard the crack and it just fell all at once.
Take a look. The branches dropped about 20 feet onto the group of teenagers below. 3 had to be taken to the hospital. Of those, Aleman says 2 had mostly scratches, but 1 had a broken collarbone.
She got hit in the head. She started bleeding. She also got a scratch on her nose, and this bone got broken as well.
Now city workers have roped off the tree, and arborists are trying to determine why the branches gave way in a park that often draws families who are used to looking out for hazards but may never think to look up. Witnesses say it was not windy this afternoon, and see for yourself. The tree appears to be healthy. There are no obvious signs of disease, so why that tree limb snap is still very much a mystery. That's why you'll notice there is crime tape up. The police tape is to keep people out until crews can be sure that the rest of that tree is stable. Live in Glendale, Christy Fajardo, CBS 2 News.
All right, Christy, thanks. Sky 2 over the scene when a police pursuit came to an unusual end in Ladera Heights tonight. LA police surrounded the white Toyota Camry as it stopped at La Brea Avenue and Stalker Street. Officers pulled the driver out of the car and then they drove it to a nearby parking lot. Police say the woman behind the wheel was wanted for reckless driving and failure to yield.
A Whittier hospital went on lockdown today after a shooting scare. A man took his own life in the parking lot. Police tell us the man's daughter brought him to Whittier Hospital Medical Center for depression today. Witnesses say there was some kind of family argument in the emergency room. The man reportedly went out to his car and shot himself in an apparent suicide. Patients and staff at the hospital started to get word there was an active shooter in the building.
She just told us that there was an active shooter and that we had to get away from the windows, and certain places we could and couldn't go.
Family members of the man who took his own life waited for hours at the hospital, but didn't want to comment on what happened. They did confirm it was their father who died.
Well, LAPD received a lot of calls this weekend after this bear right there. Ooh.
He's so cute.
He is cute.
But
Very
he's big.
He showed up at a Silmar condo complex. He was peeking over the fence, rattled a few nerves. Fish and Wildlife officers coaxed the fellow back into the woods. They think the bear is about 3 years old and was probably looking for water. Can you blame him? It's hot. He's got a fur coat on.
Exactly. You can't take it off.
He's taking over, looking for it.
The top public universities on the West Coast coming up.
And find out which state agency is hiring more than 1,000 workers.
Also ahead, why protesters showed up outside a church today in the San Fernando Valley.
And Rams fans celebrate the start of the new season, why it was so special for some LAUSD students and their teachers. Garth.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Wow, what a great weekend. Can we keep it going? We'll have your forecast coming up.